I awoke to screaming. It was a loud, piercing sound filled with pain. I was scared. I jumped out of my window like Father had taught me. It was a short drop. Our house was only one story like most of the houses in our village. The only building that was 2 stories was the church in the middle of our town that we had worked so hard for endless hours in the summer on. I hid behind our house with my hands over my head. I heard more screams. In silence, I peered around the corner of our house. I saw a man. He looked directly at me. The ground was covered with blood. My mother was tied up laying on the ground unconscious. The man rushed towards me. I realized he was carrying a machete. I felt a sharp pain in my thigh. Then everything went dark. I awoke in a bed. If beds were made of people, it was beyond words. I don't even want to try to explain, because I would need to recall the memory, which I promised myself I would never do, because it was far too gruesome. I started to untangle myself from the large pile of bodies. As I was doing so, I felt a sharp I looked to see that my pants were wet, not with water, but with blood, my blood. I struggled to stand. I looked around to see that I was the only one alive. As I limped around, I began to see faces I recognized. The pain in my heart was far worse than the one in my leg. I closed my eyes and concentrated on never-ending pain in my leg. It hurt a lot, but at least I forgot where I was. I walked, not sure where, but away. The last few days had been hot, but I walked on, just as my father would have told me. Nicholas, you can do anything. He said that to me about everything I did for the past 7 years, since I was 7 years old. I had to stop. No, I had to find water. I said to stop and sit, get a little rest. Maybe I could go to sleep. I woke up with the face of a man staring at me. He was white and wore a blue hat. I had heard about people like him. I was so glad to see him that I immediately reached over and hugged him. He asked if I was thirsty. I said yes. He pulled out a can. I got up to get it, and I realized that my leg no longer hurt, and it was bandaged. I took the water and had a big sip, desperately trying not to spill. The man then said his name was Sam, and asked for mine. I told him. He then asked where I was going. I explained how I just left my village. He then told me that there was a village only a few miles to the left. He had to be lying. There was no way I could live that close and not know. But yet somewhere inside of me, I believed him. He told me I could stay the night, and then I could leave for the village. As I awoke, I looked up to see that Sam was awake. He said that I'd better get going to the village before it gets dark. I said bye and started to walk. As I left, I thought about Sam. I saw the village. I started to run. I was safe.